not gonna sugarcoat it. This week saw the most impressive losers run in the history of competitive Splatoon. And despite all the April Fool's Day shenanigans that went down this week, I'm dead serious. And that's not even mentioning the LAN, the cash prizes, and the rest of the chaos that worked its way through competitive Splatoon in the last week. Hi, I'm Droid, and let's break it down in the Weekly Ink. Starting with our weeklies, Bajas Blast saw a pretty chill event for its 42nd edition, with just 15 teams making their way out. The highlight of the event were the multiple close sets between Brutal, made of Kiki, Ray, Euler, Hayden, Ace, and Ripyams, and Bill Collectors, made of Ultra, Soren, Zog, and Not Washed Taxes. The teams played a close 3-2 set in upper finals that eventually ended in Brutal's favor, which sent the Collectors down to lower bracket. After a quick win in lower finals, they made their way back up to Grands in order to try and get their revenge on Brutal, which they did just barely manage to achieve in the first set, taking it in an extremely close 3-2. Riding the momentum of their wins into the bracket reset, the Collectors then proceeded to finally get an easier set with a 3-1 to finish their revenge on Brutal and secure their well-earned win. Later that week, our regular duo of Wednesday weeklies ran their course, and with the date they both ran on being April 1st, you know some tomfoolery was afoot. Starting with Paddling Pool, the event was pretty small this week, all in all, with just 13 teams making their way out. The winners ended up being NM, made up of Bake, Astra, Nick, and Silver. The team managed to take their win comfortably through the winner's side, but it wasn't a complete cakewalk. With their set in upper finals against Thundercats and one against Unknown in grand finals, both going to close 3-2s in NM's favor, securing their win for the event. As for our other Wednesday weekly, Swimmer Sync saw a bit more tomfoolery afoot, with some diabolical commentary between the two commentary blocks, a streamer who was up to no good, the brackets being turned into shark fin soup and replaced with other sea life, and the staff developing an unhealthy addiction to one Sergeant Major. The shenanigans were boosted even further by the fact a lot of top talent thought it would be funny to come out for this edition, with the eventual winners of Me in Japan being a pickup of a bunch of top players, including Kyo-chan, Solja, Anthony, Yeti, and Airfryer. The team took the event comfortably, securing 3-1 wins over Sourdough Toast in semifinals and trimethylsilyl chloride in grands to take home the Sergeant Major. Our final weekly-ish was Triton Cup 140, and at 25 teams, it was pretty stacked. While your usual lineup of top EU talent made their way out, nobody could stop the force that was Easy Light, a Moonlight X EasyMD pickup with Devin 4K, Kiki, Omega, and Shadowwind. The team did play a couple close sets against Passion in both winners and grand finals, and to Passion's credit, they did manage to take both to Game 5, but it wasn't enough to stop the combination of two of the best teams in the Western scene's combined forces. Congrats to them on the win, and thanks to Dapple for another great week of events. Shifting away from our weeklies, we saw a couple other events this week worth discussing, including our next qualifier to the LAN Championship Showdown, Anarchy Nova 3. A-Nova is a Splatoon 3 LAN hosted in Virginia and served as the 6th qualifier for the LCS, with the winning team earning their slot in the final event on April 26th. Of the 11 teams who made their way out, there were 2 real teams people had their money on to take the event, Big Fat Sea Cows and Dairy Queen Check. The Sea Cows have been a consistent, strong team for a while now, with them having been a top-ranked team in a couple of CCA seasons, so it was really no surprise to see them viewed so highly. On the other side, DQ is just a pickup, but one with many strong players, including Wings, a player who had won Shy Shoals just the week before. The two played a couple of close 3-2 sets in upper finals and grand finals, but when the dust settled, Dairy Queen Check was left standing as the victor, earning their slot as the 6th team in the LAN Championship Showdown. Congratulations to them, we can't wait to see you play in the final event. Shifting back to our online events, the weekend saw 2 pretty stacked majors with In the Zone 50 and Breaksax Rank 12. Starting with BZB, the event saw just 13 teams, but with a cash prize on the line for the top players, it's really no surprise that the majority of them were strong, high-end top-level talent. The winners ended up being 24, a pickup of Gray, Noah, Solja, and Goss. The team was honestly dominant this event, taking easy wins over EasyMD and Azure pickups to claim their throne and walk away with their $120 cash prize. An event that was distinctly not easy for a lot of those same players was in the Zone 50, which was just as stacked as you'd expect for the major. Basically every top level Western player made their way out, and even some Japanese players for Sendu's esteemed event. The winners ended up being Besto Friendo, a PXG pickup with Marau subbing in for Argo. Don't let that description fool you. The event was brutal for the team. All the way back in Winners Round 2, Besto Friendo lost 2-1 to It's Too Much, putting them down in the lower bracket where they would have to win 9 consecutive sets if they wanted to take home the win. And so they did, taking over sets from Zenith, NM, Healthy Diet Food Groups, EasyMD, For Fun, and finally Small Bubbler in order to finally make it back to Grand Finals. And perhaps most impressively, they did it easily, not dropping a single game after they entered lower bracket until they made it to lower finals. While making it to Grands was impressive, they weren't done yet, and the team would have to play 2 sets against the team of Shrine in order to actually win the event. Shrine was a very strong team, having been responsible for taking out several of the strongest top Western teams, including the very same pickup that had beaten Besto Friendo all the way back in round 2. It was shaping up to be a couple of amazing sets. Everybody was excited to see how it would shake out, and then Besto Friendo got 2 back-to-back 3-0s to win the event. Calling it close would be a flat-out lie. It was a dominant sweep for Besto Friendo to take home the event and finish off their insane losers run. Congratulations to them on the incredibly impressive win, and thank you at home for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and consider becoming a channel member if you want to support our work further. And we'll see you at the same time, same place next week. Thanks for watching.